The Crown is enjoying its continued reign as the top show on Netflix after coming out a fortnight ago. Season 5 of the royal drama, written by Peter Morgan, focuses on the years from 1991 to 1997, which was quite a turbulent time for the House of Windsor. The biggest focus of Season 5 is Princess Diana, played by Elizabeth Debicki, and Prince Charles, Dominic West, acrimonious divorce and the last several years of their ailing marriage. The so-called Tampon Gate tape, in which an intimate conversation between Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles, Olivia Williams, was accidentally intercepted and later published in national newspapers, is featured in the show. The recording was from 1989, when both Charles and Camilla were married to other people. Viewers also saw Prince Diana's relationship with British Pakistani heart surgeon Dr. Hassanet Khan, Humayun Saeed, her damning BBC Panorama interview with journalist Martin Bashir, Prasanna Puwanaraja, as well as the rise of businessman Muhammad Al Fayed, Salim Daw. Other topics covered include the assassination of the Romanovs, the Windsor Castle fire, Prince Philip, Jonathan Pryce, and Penelope Knatchbull's, Natasha McElhone, close friendship, and royal valet Sidney Johnson, Judakawadaik. However, there were lots of other things left out of the 10-hour drama, with royal commentator and film critic Fitzwilliam saying, "It's a very curious mix, this." He went on to say, "None of us know the details of a lot of the conversations between members of the royal family and the Queen and the Prime Minister and so forth. No one will ever know. One has to point out here. This dealing with the 1990s was a nightmarish period for the royal family, there's no question about it, and it's comparable to the 1930s and the abdication and the 1860s, when after Albert's death Queen Victoria went into seclusion, and that was a serious problem." Fitzwilliam said much had been left out. There is no doubt, however, with the series, as it has progressed. Firstly, it is absolutely clear there is a Republican agenda. All you need to do is look at what has not been shown. Queen and Nelson Mandela friendship, he explained, the relations between the Queen and Nelson Mandela, that was a high point in a dreadful decade for the royal family, and that isn't shown. So, Morgan is very selective in what he decides to show. The Truth and the Lies, it's a docudrama, and of course, it mixes the two. There is no excuse, especially as it now does it for marketing, for the 5th series trailer, that Netflix have not put a disclaimer that points out that this is a dramatized version based on actual events. Queen Elizabeth II and former South African President Nelson Mandela are said to have had a warm friendship, with the freedom fighter first visiting Buckingham Palace in 1996. Their friendship came about following his release from prison on Robben Island and his becoming the nation's first democratically elected leader. Mandela is also said to have referred to the Queen as Motlalepula, which means to come with the rain, and the nickname is said to have come about after the Queen's visits to South Africa brought with them torrential rains. Zelda Lagrange, Mandela's private secretary from 1994 to 2013, told Reuters how the pair had a shared sense of duty and service which they adhered to their whole lives. James Hewitt. While The Crown does briefly see Diana's affair with James Hewitt, Daniel Donskoy, the moment is fleeting. Princess Diana and her riding instructor met at a party in 1986, and the pair ended up having an illicit romance. The princess admitted to the affair in her Panorama interview, saying she was unfaithful during her marriage to Charles. She said in the interview, "I was in love with him. But I was very let down." During their affair, the pair exchanged love letters. The romance is said to have ended in 1992. Princess Anne's attempted kidnapping. Fitzwilliam said, "The fact that the attempted kidnapping of Princess Anne in 1974, several were injured, it was very dangerous. She was extremely courageous, that wasn't shown." In 1974, lone gunman Ian Ball tried to abduct the royal by pulling out in front of her car as she was on a journey to Buckingham Palace with her then-husband Mark Phillips. Ball was armed with 2 handguns and tried to force the princess out of the car with 7 men trying to stop the planned abduction. The assailant, who was suffering from mental health issues, was eventually subdued and the princess and Phillips escaped unharmed while those injured made a full recovery. One other big event which never made the final cut of The Crown was when 6 blanks were fired at the Queen in 1981 during Trooping the Colour. The Crown Season 5 is streaming on Netflix now.